Hi guys and girls, welcome back to Watch the Time. Thanks for tuning back in. Thanks for coming back to see me. I'm really pleased you've done so, and I'm exceptionally pleased about to bring you another Addiesdive. This is the AD2055. They contacted me, one of the stores. I've got a pretty good relationship with them. They said to me, what do you think about this new release? I said, it looks pretty cool. They've obviously gone for sort of a military style watch, but where they've made it sort of like the different sort of coloured greens, it made me feel like, could this be the best value GADA watch? Could this be a military watch that you could wear in any occasion? Not to say there's others that you can't do that with, but I think with the vibrancy of the color, the specs, it's pretty much all brushed. You've got a tall aesthetic. It's still going to look really nice under a shirt. I think this watch could tick a lot of boxes. Well spec'd, really well finished, Seiko movement inside. So you know what you're kind of getting at this point with these sort of things. But does it continue to tick all those boxes? Because that's what I really wanted to know. When they reached out to me, I looked at the pictures. Sometimes a little bit difficult to see through the pictures. Actually, it's more vibrant in real life, which I was happy to see. Different sort of shades of green that you get, because the dial's got different sort of textures on it and stuff. But you'll see that as we go through the video. If this is for you, please use the link in the description. It's an affiliate link. It doesn't cost you any more. Just makes your life that bit easier. But I'll stop going on because we want to crack on with the watch. As I say, thanks for tuning back in. It's about that time to get the camera turned around and get on with it. Hi guys, so this is the watch. As you'll see, the normal sort of packaging from Addiesdive, briefcase style. I've pre-clipped it because it's not the easiest with these gloves. There's the watch. I'll pop that to the side very quickly. And then you got inside, so you'll see, you got an instruction manual, or user manual as they call it, warranty card, unsigned, hang tag, and you'll see that I've taken 3 links off for it to fit my wrist. Just popped it in there so it's nice and easy. In a foam, just to keep it safe in transit. You've probably seen this case hundreds of times at this point. So let me just pop that there, and then you're left with the watch. I think it's very striking. The reason I really wanted to get it in is because it's obviously sort of a military sort of watch. But I like the fact that it's actually, it could be a GADA watch given the sort of colorway and the way it looks and stuff. So that's why I liked it. But this is the AD2055. Inside this watch, it's running a Seiko NH35 movement. I'll bring some information up about the movement now. I'm going to start redoing my movement shots. So the movement shots I've been bringing up for some time. Yes, I've had them quite some time. So I wanted to sort of do some better close-ups of the movement, because that's what you want to see in addition to the information next to it, which is you're seeing now. Yeah, what can I say about the Seiko NH35 movement that I've not already said? 21,600 beats per hour, 41 hour power reserve, 24 joules, and it just runs and runs, really. A real workhorse of a movement. Nothing fancy, but does the job really, really well, and normally keeps incredible time, much better parameters than what's set out by Seiko. So yeah, the NH35, also known as a 4R35, winning an actual Seiko watch. So there you go. The construction of the watch, aside from the crystal, is all 316L stainless steel. So for the most part, guys, it's all brushed. So the case, bezel, crown, got a little bit of polishing at the side where it's embossed. Bracelet, you got a bit of polishing at the sides. Fully milled clasp, which has got a chamfered edge going down the side. Solid end links, and you got the case back. Is all 316L stainless steel. And we'll run through some more information about the sort of watch and stuff in a moment. The case thickness of the watch is 11.9 millimeters. The case diameter, I normally measure sort of from the 8 to the 2. It was coming in bang on 39 millimeters. And when you go from the 9 to the 3, including that crown, it's coming at 42.4 millimeters. The lug width on this is 20, tapering down to 16, back up to 18 mil at that fully milled clasp. And the lug-to-lug, tip-to-tip of the watch is a true lug-to-lug, given its female end links of the center link. It's coming in bang on 49 millimeters. So good proportions there, I think you'll find, guys, for the style of watch it is. And like I said, for a watch that looks like a potential GADA piece, yeah, and it's going to be a real strap monster as well, given its 20 mil lug width. So there you go. The crown is situated at a 3 o'clock position, screw down crown, I did already mention. The bezel is a fixed brushed bezel, and the case back is screwed down. I'll bring it up now so you can have a look. Just some information on there that we're going to run through anyway. But yeah, that's what the case back looks like. The strap is got a couple of mil of taper. So it goes down, goes from 4 mils of taper. So it goes from 20 to 16, back up to 18 mil. Push pins, just to sort of size it out. You see I took 3 links out for it to fit my wrist. Got the fully milled clasp engraved with Addiesdive on there. And like I said, fully milled. If I can open it, it's normally easier this way. There we go. And you'll see you've got 5 levels of micro adjustments. I'm using one of them at the minute, but I'm sure you're going to find the perfect fit for yourself, given how many bits of micro adjust they've given you. The crystal covering the dial is a sapphire crystal, which is good to see at the price point. And the water resistance is cited as being 200 meters. So that's 20 atmospheres of water resistance. Not certified, but given the crystal being seated well and the crown and case back being screwed up nicely, I think you're going to be able to take this swimming and stuff. And like I said, really lending to the fact that I do think it's a bit of a GADA piece. So there we are. The weight will appear in the top right. It's just below 124 grams with those 3 links removed. With those 3 links back in, you're probably looking at about 140 odd grams. So yeah, good bit of heft, given it's not the biggest watch. But there we are. So that's those proportions. But let's have a look at the dial now, guys, in just a bit more detail. So nothing's been applied onto the dial. So you'll see it's green. You've got almost different sectors. You've got a circle in the middle where you've got Addiesdive and automatic. It's a green sunburst, which is nice. Outside that, you've got another sort of ring inside the minute track, which extends to outside that as well. But it's sort of a mottled effect. In the minute track, going around the outer edge, as I've said, you've got yellow everywhere. So every hour, you've got a sort of indices that's quite small. Every increments of 3, 6, and 9, slightly bigger. Inside that, you've got numerals 1 to 12. The 6, 9, and 12 are slightly bigger. You got Addiesdive, as I've mentioned already, just printed on just below the dial at the 12 o'clock position. You got automatic just above the 6. I do like the way they've done it with the yellowed hands. The hands, I think, are a little bit big. I would like them to have been a little bit smaller. But I like the way they've gone with the yellow and greens. It looks really, really cool. I'd like them to have colour matched the date with the dates as well. If they could have made that black with white writing in keeping with the Addiesdive and automatic on the dial, I think that would have made the date stand out less, because it's a bit of a eyesore at the moment, I think, given how everything else looks. So yeah, you've got different shades of green. You've got the white for the minute track going around the outer edge. But yeah, mainly greens and yellows going on. Like I said, different shades of green. That's in a circle with the sunburst is nice. You got loom, so I'll bring the loom up now. I was quite impressed with the loom. Like I said, again, in keeping with why I think this is a bit of a GADA piece. I think this is a watch that could be one and done, really. You could have this in every situation. And the loom is really not harming that in that effect, to be honest. I think the loom is really, really, really good. Like I said, I left it running for a couple of minutes. I've sped it up a little bit, but that's what the loom was saying. Inside, I've already mentioned, it's got a Seiko N835 movement. If I undo the crown, it pops nicely. You take it all the way out, you'll see it will hack. You put it back in, it will start back up again. If you turn the crown away from you, you'll hear it's charging it. You put that to the first position, you pull screw towards yourself, you change the date, and like I said, if you want to change the time, all the way out, and bish bash bosh. Job's a good one. But that's everything there, guys. That's the dial, that's the hands, that's the engagement with the crown, that's everything you can imagine. But let me just pop it on the wrist quickly, give you an idea of what it looks like on my wrist once I'm able to put the crown back in. Spare me 1 second, guys. It's so smooth once it's in that I thought it was done. There we go. There we are. Sorted. Just give me 1 second, like I said. Let me just pop it on the wrist quickly, give you an idea what it looks like on my wrist in the studio conditions. 1 moment, guys. Okay, so guys, this is what it looks like on me in the studio conditions. At the start, you'd have seen it in the outside conditions and stuff, and I think it's a really striking watch. If you just look at that, it's got lots going for it. Very affordable as well. So, yeah. There you go, guys. Okay, so guys and girls, that'll now take me swiftly on to what I think is pants and pucker about the watch. If you've ever watched before, you'll know I always start with pants. I like to go on a high with pucker. So what I think is pants about the watch, not a great deal, to be honest. I think this is a good offering from Addiesdive. But there's a couple of things I do want to mention, and I've kind of touched upon it already, is I'll go with the hands in terms of the size. I think they're a little bit oversized, especially the hour hand. I think that could have been a little bit smaller. I don't mind the yellow with the yellow. I'm not too offended. The proportions are decent, but yeah, the hand size could be slightly smaller. And I don't mean length. I mean how big they are, really. And the date color, like I said, the date color really just stand out too much. I know it's an inexpensive watch, but if they gone black or white writing, that would have really nailed it. But they're the two things I mentioned really. Everything else for the price is fantastic. So they're the two things. I'll go with the hand size and date color. What I think is Pukka, considerably more, especially for the price. I'm going to go with a sapphire crystal. Not a bad amount of AR coating on there as well. I've had watches more expensive recently that have been going nuts in the studio, but not this. The dial, as I've said, multi-textured dial, sort of playing with the light nicely. I do like the way they've done that. The loom, yeah, the loom I mentioned previously, like I said, really helping this become the GADA piece that I think it really is. The movement, like I said, the Seiko NH35 movement, this one's running about 8 seconds faster a day. But like I said, I'd always rather my movements run faster. But yeah, that as well. The clasp, like I said, a fully milled clasp with all that levels of micro adjustment, not to be sniffed at. The size, like I said, it's diminutive, isn't it? It's 39 mil. The lug to lug is a little bit longer than I would have expected, but it doesn't sort of hurt anything in terms of how it fits on the wrist. And generally, other than that, the general look of the watch is what I would say, because I think it's a very striking piece. Like I said, they've done a few bits and pieces now. They've kept the same case shape and stuff, but I think they've just added a few bells and whistles to this one, and I think the general look is really cool. I do like that green. Potentially, maybe I've had sort of on my watch all video when I featured this, maybe there's an option to maybe do a couple of other colours, maybe. So I might mention that to Addiesdive. Yeah, the general look. So they're the things I mentioned. I'll go with a sapphire crystal. I'll go with the dial, loom, movement, clasp, size, and the general look of the watch. And that'll take me on to, would I recommend the watch? I think it goes without saying I would. I think it's for the price, and I think with just everything you can do with this watch, dress it up, dress it down, take it swimming, I think it's definitely one that you should be looking at. In the sales, it's going to be looking even better. But yeah, I would definitely recommend this one, guys. But guys and girls, as I always say, please let me know what you think about this watch, and maybe any other watches you may want to see on the channel. And as I always say, don't forget to like, subscribe, and always watch your time. Take care, guys. All the very best.